Okay, this is going to be the first video going over the study guide, and we are going to do numbers 1 through 10 in this video. So, what is this written as, written in the form of a radical? To do that, we're going to have to break it down. This is a problem that would be on the no calculator section. So, we're going to find the pieces of 726. It's clearly divisible by 2 because it's an even number, so let's try with that. So 2, and this is going to be 363. If I look at 363, it's definitely divisible by 3. So I'm going to try that. 121. And then 121 is 11 squared, so it's going to be 11 times 11. Now I'm going to rewrite that in my prime factorization. So I've got 1, 2 times 1, 1, 1, 3, and I've got 2 11s. Anytime I've got 2 of them, I can take it outside. When I take it outside, I'll only have 1 of them. And so I've got 2 times 3. Negative 8 times 11 is negative 88. And 2 times 3 is 6. So my answer is A. Number 2, look at the expression, and we are going to multiply and simplify. You can either multiply first or simplify first. Let's go ahead and multiply first. Outside times outside is 2. Inside times inside is going to be 160. 8 times 2 is 16, and then we've got the 0. What's going to go into this is obviously 10, because we got a 0 on the end. And then both of these are not prime, so I can break them down. So we 2 times 5 and 4 times 4. This is not prime, but I can just go ahead and say since there's 2 of them, I can take them outside. If you prefer prime factorization, you can go ahead and break them down further, right? And we're going to get the same answer either way. So once I get 2 of them, I can just say that we have that number squared. So let's go ahead and do 2 to the first times 4 squared times 5. I have 2 of these, so I bring it outside. Okay. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8, so we get 8 on the square root of 10, which is C. Three says, which sum is rational? Rational means that it is a whole number or a repeating decimal, not a radical, all that stuff. So pi is irrational, so if I add an irrational and a rational, I get an irrational. Square root of 25 is 5, so this just says 5 plus 1.75. That is going to be a rational number because this ends. So B is the answer. Let's go ahead and check the rest to make sure we're right, since this is such an easy thing to do. Square root of 3 is going to be irrational because it doesn't have anything perfect. And any square root that doesn't come out perfect is going to be irrational. So that doesn't work. And then pi is irrational again, so we are good there. This time we've got which product is irrational. So sum meant add, product means multiply. So we've got 2 and 50. 2 and 50, neither one of these is a perfect square. So we can go ahead and multiply those. Is this a perfect square? Yes, it is. That's going to be 10. So that is rational. 64 is a perfect square. We know the square root of that is 8. Square root of 4 is 2. That's going to be 16. That's not it. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 49 is 7. And then this is definitely the answer, but it's the only one left. Is 80 a perfect square? Absolutely not. That's going to be my answer. A rectangle has a length of 12 meters and a width of 100 centimeters. The rectangle, we know this is 12 meters and this is 400 centimeters. And we are going to have to change those to the same thing, and we need them to be in centimeters, right? So I need my answer to be in centimeters, so I'm going to need to change both of these to centimeters. This one is already centimeters. Let's go ahead and write our King Henry died units, drinking chocolate milk. So right now I'm at the unit. I need to move to centimeters. So I'm going to need to move my decimal 1, 2 places. So I move this 1, 2 places. I'm going to get 1200 centimeters. And now I'm looking for the perimeter. That means the sum of all the sides. So I'm going to write this on both sides because it's a rectangle, so these are the same. Right? These are congruent or equal. These are congruent or equal. And now I just got to add. So 400 plus 400 is 800. Multiply that by 2, I get 240, or 2,400. Add those together, we get 3,200 centimeters. Number 5. Jill swam 200 meters in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. If each lap is 50 meters long, what is her estimated time in seconds per lap? So, she swam 200 meters, and that was in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this with minutes and seconds, so I need to change this. And so I'm going to say how many seconds are in a minute. There's 60 of them. 60 times 2 is going to be 120. And now I'm going to add these. So, and I'm just going to rewrite this whole thing. So, 200 meters in 162 seconds. Now they told me that each lap is 50 meters long. And I need to get rid of meters because all I want to know is laps. So I'm going to say 1 lap is 50 meters. Meters on top, meters on bottom cancel. And what I'm looking for is lap in seconds. We have lap in seconds. So all we got to do is put this in the calculator now. So, go ahead and do that. We've got 200 times 1. It's going to be 200 over 162 times 50 is 810. And this is going to be estimated time, so notice that the answers are all whole numbers. And notice that my fraction is actually upside down, right? So, it says in seconds per lap. So I actually have this upside down of what I need it to be. To fix this, we want seconds on the top, right? And right now we've got seconds and laps. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip this fraction. So seconds is on top of laps. And then I'm going to do the division. Okay? So what I did is I flipped this because this says seconds per lap. So seconds should be on top. So I'm going to divide that. And I get 40.1. So since we are doing an estimated time, the estimated time is going to be whatever is closest to 40.1, which is definitely 40. In which expression is the coefficient of the n term 1? So we're looking for the term that just has an n, not n squared. That has a negative 1, which means just a negative sign in front of it. This has a 4, this has a 5, this has a negative 1, there we go. This has a plus 1. Okay. And that's all there is to 7. Number 8. The expression s squared is used to calculate the area of a square, where s is the side length of the square. What does the expression 8x squared represent? So, if we are looking at a square, they are saying that this side is the same as this side. And they say that 8x squared is the area. Well, if I know that s squared is the area, and I know that 8x squared is the area, then each one of these should be equal to 8x. Meaning that the side of each is going to be 8x. So the area of a square with a side length of 8x. What is the product of 7x minus 4 and 8x plus 5? Product means multiply. This should be fairly easy because we've done this a ton of times. I can FOIL or I can go down. I'm going to FOIL 56x squared. First times first. Outside times outside. Inside times inside. Last times last. Combine my like terms. This is bigger, so it's going to be positive. C is the answer. And last one for this video. A model of a house is shown. I told y'all these tick marks means congruent. They should tell you that if this is actually on the EOC, because this is something you're supposed to learn in geometry. But since there's one dash here and one dash here, this is also going to be 6x minus 4. 2 dashes here, 2 dashes here. So it's going to be 12x plus 3. And then it says perimeter, which tells me that I'm just adding all the sides up. So 6x minus 4, 6x minus 4, 12x plus 3, 12x plus 3, 14x plus 13. And I'm adding down. You could obviously do it the other way and combine like terms. This is going to be a negative 8, and these add to be positive 19. I told you that a lot of times I like to add my negative numbers and my positive numbers separately, and then I can just subtract. It makes it easier to me. So 19 minus 8 is 11. These are all positive, so we could just add them. These two are going to be 12. It's going to be 24, and then 14. 24 plus 14. 4 plus 4 is 8. 38. We're going to add 12 to that. It's going to be 50x. So our answer is 50x plus 11, which is C.